Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft. Today's final Karlov Manor draft of the entire season. But if you still do enjoy Karlov Manor Limited, don't worry, we have for the next 2 weeks on the channel the top 8 best deck tournament of the format, where I take my best 8 drafted decks that I drafted over the course of this channel, 34 drafts, and I pit them up against each other in a best deck top 8 tournament. You won't want to miss that. That will start next Monday. So tune back in for that one, but we're going to finish out Karlov Manor strong here, hopefully with a deck that can make its way into that top 8 tournament, although Pack 1 Pick 1 is not that great. Outrageous Robbery is black, don't want it. Karlov Watchdog is fine. I think I'm just going to take the inside source here. Clandestine Meddler is black. His pack is horrible. Really don't like starting with an inside source, but I do like following it up with the Tulsimir. I don't know what our neighbor could have opened to be better than Tulsimir. I guess like a monocolored other rare, I suppose. But now we're going to play white today because this card is insane. 5-mana 3/2 lifelink makes a 5/5 with a little bit of like evasion and stuff. So we're going to take that. And then follow it up with a Novice Inspector. What does Fabricate? No. Horrible. Yeah, Novice Inspector is the best common in the set, so we'll take it here to go with Inside Source. And Tulsimir for that matter, so pretty easy pick there. And now white is already drying up, as expected. I could just take the Seasoned Consultant here. I think the best card is Exit Specialist or Projector Inspector. These are both close here. They went this way, helps with Tulsimir in green. We could still abandon green and just be like blue-white or something, in which case Projector Inspector and Exit Specialist are both quite good in that deck. I guess I'll take the Specialist. Both of those are pretty close there. Now there's Satchel and Repulsive Mutation. There is still a Consultant and a Due Diligence here, but I don't think they're very good enough here. Question mark. I do really like Repulsive Mutation. I mean, I guess Consultant isn't horrible. I don't know. I do really... This is tough. I haven't got to play the whole Detective Satchel, but maybe once or twice in the format. It's a fun deck, but I think with Tulsimir and Novice Inspector and things, we're so far away from that. I just don't think I'm going to miss a Seasoned Consultant if I take Repulsive Mutation there, so I'm just going to take that, and I guess follow it up with Crowd Control Warden as the best card in this pack. There's a Panther. White is already insanely cut, as expected. I could take the Panther and kind of abandon white, but Tulsimir being double white makes me kind of not want to do that, so I'm going to stick with the Crowd Control Warden here. Audience with Tristani works with the 5/5 Wolf. It works with the Detective token, but I don't think it's something I'm willing to go for here. I don't think I like Absolving Lamassu either. But I'm not playing anything else. I guess I could play Jaded Analyst if I go blue-white, maybe. Ooh, that is a late Detective Satchel. Is there a world where we can fall into blue-red here? Because white is just completely dead. I love Detective Satchel. I'm passing up on a Sprite to do this, but I think that's okay. And now there's a Gadget Technician. White completely cut here on the wheel. And the Technician does go well in blue-red. Person of Interest, Bubble Smuggler. Guess I'll take the Person here. And yeah, I mean, you know, started off with 3 good white cards and then it's completely cut from there. So guess I'll take Automaton. It is an artifact if we end up going blue-red. I don't think the other Satchel wheels. Wow, that's a late Projector Inspector. I'll take that here. That's good even in blue-red or blue-white. And last pick Accusation here. Got a Lamplight Phoenix as well as a Gleaming Gear Drake. only white card is Wrench or Crowd Control Warden. There's a Lightning Helix as well, which is great. I think I gotta take the Phoenix. This card is just very good. Not a bomb, but very good. Would love a Gleaming Gear Drake. Probably putting my neighbors closer into blue-red here. Although there's some good cards in this pack. I could see Murder, Glint Weaver, Helix, Warden, Meddler, Sprite all going, but I think Gear Drake will get taken. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Phoenix here, and I think I'm thinking of myself as blue-red mostly at this point, which isn't a spot I thought I would be in, but if white's going to be this cut, I can't force my way into it. I took basically every white card I could, and that was like 3 or 4 of them, and it was like the first 5 picks. So let's see what we find here. And then we find another satchel. I mean, it's very, very slow, but it's very, very good. There's Person of Interest, Deduce. There's some white, but not great. I guess I'll take Satchel. There is Escape Tunnel for fixing here. If we wanted to try to like splash Repulsive Mutation, but guess we'll take another Satchel and try to get into a controlling blue-red deck that we don't have any Shocks, Galvanizes, Reasonable Doubts, anything controlling yet. So we're going to have to find some of that. The question is, how do we fit a Zoni into our deck? That's the question. Oh, man. Pick 3 is Zoni. This card is absolutely busted. Wow, okay, so my draft, every time this happens to me where I open cards like this, but so is Scholar. I open cards like this, I take it, I try to fit it, and then I go 1 and 3 because my deck is just absolutely non-functional. Oh, this hurts me so bad. I don't think I can do it. It's a very, very good card, don't get me wrong. One of the best cards in the set. I've had this happen so many times to me where I have completely derailed my draft by not taking a card that works very well in my deck in Steam Core Scholar and trying to fit in a better card. So I'm just going to eat the vegetables and take the Scholar there. I'll take Out Cold here. And again, I'm pretty sure I'm thinking of myself as blue-red at this point. And I think we still have a decent blue-red deck here, so I think I'm fine with that. Analyst, Offender at Large. Yeah, Analyst is the perfect kind of card we want to gum up the ground to get to these Detective Satchels late. So let's take the Analyst here. If there's ever a deck that wants a Public Thoroughfare, it's this one, but I've tried this before, even in blue-red artifacts, and it's not that good. So I doubt I'm playing it. Another Gadget Technician, that's fine. That's fine. Much better when you can just cast this card for 4 as well. Thinking Cap with 5 Detectives, probably not. I don't think I want a Smuggler or a Mask Maker either, though. I'll just take the Cap. I'll cut red here. Probably don't want Braggart as well. Cut blue. Benthic Criminologist is also not great. Well, Deduce is a nice little pickup here. That is a card I can play. If I pick up some Reasonable Doubts in the last pack, then Deduce plus Reasonable Doubt is a nice little combo because you can actually hold up 2 mana and counter something, and if they don't play anything you want to counter, you just cast Deduce, draw a card, and investigate. So this is looking like a mana-hungry deck so far with all the clues we're going to have. Out Cold, Deduce, some Disguise, double Satchel here. I'm going to go ahead and throw some of these things in the sideboard already. Cards I'm hoping to not play if I can at all avoid it. Maybe Burden of Proof. I'm not playing a second Thinking Cap. Let's see what we find in pack 3 here. Connecting the Dots. I've been presented the opportunity to take this card quite a bit in the format. I just don't think I've ever really had a deck where I thought it was that good. It's also never been great against me. I'm actually not sure I've ever seen it cast before. Might just take another Gadget Technician here over Convenient Target. Sudden Setback I think is a little clunky. Don't need Officious Interrogation. I guess I'll take the Technician, number 3. Granite Witness is a card I could play. There's also Gearbane Orangutan. I think that might actually be playable in our deck. Granite Witness is too good though, right? Yeah, I think the Witness is just too good. We've also got Commercial District. Is there a green card we want to splash? Well, there's a Repulsive Mutation. Maybe I can make this work. I think the mutation is pretty good. Sorry, the dog is pretty close here. Alright, I think I gotta take the shock here. Don't need the basher. Yeah, pretty easy shock. This pick. Now we've got Red Herring, Surveillance Monitor, another Gadget Technician. I think I'll take Surveillance Monitor here. I think that's pretty good for this style of deck. Unauthorized Exit I think is better than Red Herring for our deck here. Go ahead and take that. Pick 6, we find another Deduce. There's also Suspicious Detonation. We don't have a lot of interaction, so maybe this is actually a detonation deck. I do like Deduce, but I do need a little bit of interaction. So I'll take that here. Sprite, Bystander, Felonious Rage. I guess I'll take Sprite. Another Deduce, not another tracker, but a tracker. Felonious Rage. I guess I'll take the Deduce here. Maybe I could play a Sudden Setback. I don't really like anything else I've got in the sideboard. I'll check on Public Thoroughfare and deck building if I do want to try to splash this Repulsive Mutation here. Maybe we could play Automaton. It is an artifact. And we'll see. Alright, Orangutan Wheel. That's something we could probably play. I don't think this deck is great, but I think it's fine. I think if I had to guess, it's probably somewhere around a 3-3 or a 4-3 kind of deck. But we'll see after deck building where it ends up and how it does in the queue. Don't need either of these. And then a last pick something. Got 2 lands here. A few cards to cut. Don't know if we got there on Splashing Mutation. I'd have to play a Thoroughfare, a District, and a Forest. Might not be worth it. This might be an 18 land deck though, so maybe I could fit it in. We just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways to investigate. I think 17 is probably okay. So I'm going to go ahead and build this one here. I'll see you after deck building. Alright, this is where I ended up after deck building. I am going to try to fit in the mutation here. That might be wrong. I just think the card is too good. Got double Deduce, double Analyst, you know, some rares in Lamplight Phoenix and Steam Core Scholar as flyers here. Not a lot of great threats, but we do have some flying, you know, Sprite as well. Double Satchel goes a long way in the late game. Exit and Shock as early interaction. Accusation, Detonation is removal. I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's horrible either. Maybe we can play our way out of a 1-3 or a 2-3 here. So we'll give it a shot in the queue, and I'll see you in game number 1. All right, starting on the draw here. And this is a really interesting hand, only because this is a tap land that also surveils. So we've got a draw to find a land, a surveil to find a land, and a third. So we've got 3 chances at a land here. Particularly a blue for Deduce and Jaded Analyst. I'm going to risk it. I think 3 chances at a land is probably somewhere in the 70 to 80%. So I think we've got good chances to do it. Also, if we do win this game, we end up in Mythic. So a little risky. We did find the land, so at least there's that. Playing against Stipulation Drafter. I wonder if this is another YouTube channel and someone who has to put stipulations on themselves when they do draft here. I think I just need to play Deduce to ensure that I hit a third land drop rather than get a creature down in Jaded Analyst here. Again, we are going to try to go to the late game, and Analyst doesn't really do much except block early here. So let's play Deduce, see if we have 2 more shots at a land, and we did get it. Let's do Scholar, and then we could discard Sprite. Unless you discard an instant or sorcery or creature with flying. Yeah, let's discard Sprite to keep our lands here. Next turn we can play Gadget Technician, get a 3/2 and a 1/1 flyer. And we found all the lands here, so that is good. Still only have 1 red, but I think that's okay. Still have priority with 1 black. Interesting. Could be Slice from Shadows. Could be Toxin Analysis. I don't think there's any creature that flips up for 1 black, so it's probably Slice from Shadows if I had to guess. Next turn we have 5 mana. So we could play Analyst and disguise a Technician, maybe? Alright, got a Basilica Stalker. That's pretty good. That would have been a problem for us. Extract a Confession, getting rid of Scholar. That's okay. And then worse things have happened. Let's get in with our 1/1. Can't imagine they want to use an entire card to kill it, because I do think it is Slice from Shadows. So let's go Disguise and play Jaded Analyst, and if we draw a land... Oh, do they have some sort of counterspell? They might have reasonable... Oh. Alright, sure. Drown in the Loch. That resolves. Counter target spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of cards in my graveyard, which at the time was 4. Okay. Yeah, that happens. I'm liking where this game is going, though, with the Satchel in hand here, so... And double removal spell as well. If we draw a land, we can play Satchel, crack the clue, attack, and make a flyer. Although if they attack, I'm going to block, so... Shady Informant killing the Thopter as well. Alright, I would like to draw a land here. Oh no, just go to the face. This is risky. I could do... If I crack a clue with 2 islands and I find a land, I can still cast Person of Interest. If I don't find a land, then I have 3 mana left. And I guess I could cast a Deuce and try to find another land and crack another clue. I mean, I'd like to get Person of Interest down, though. How risky do I want to get? I don't think I need to be very risky right now. We've got things to do, so I'm just gonna just cast the Person of Interest and hope there's not a... Well, I do hope there is a land on top. I just would be kicking myself if there is. Projector Inspector, sure. That's a card I could detonation. I just don't know if I'll want to. If I don't draw a land, I'm probably going to crack the clue, detonation the inspector, and then go from there. And if I do draw a land, I'd probably just cast Satchel. Alright, you take 5. We'll cast Satchel here. Hopefully not another Drown in the Loch. And end the turn. We already had a land drop, so we won't do anything else here. Okay, they did have Slice from Shadows, and they're just killing a Thopter. That's good news if they're going to use an entire card to kill the Thopter. They didn't block the 2/2, so they have intentions of attacking, I would think, here. Cold Case Cracker. That is probably going to have to die to Suspicious Detonation. That just gets in the way of a lot of what I'm doing. Sure, take 3. Crack the clue, make a Thopter. Crack a clue. Make a Thopter. Play a land. And what I could actually do is just accusation this thing. That way they don't even get a clue out of it. And I can also just detonation this. And I mean, yeah, this is probably going to be good enough, I would think. Investigators bouncing probably their own creature. I mean, they don't have to do that. I could bounce my 2/2. Thinking about the flying unblockability here. 7 mana, huh? Let's start here. Oh. And then get in for 3. Do this, make another Thopter. And now this is lethal in many different ways. See if they have a way out of it. Maybe they have a board wipe or something. I don't feel like taking an extra 4 if they are just going to wipe my board anyway, and they don't have it. Alright, we won our first game, which puts us into Mythic. We're going to see where we end up Mythic rank this season. Okay, we go first here with an awkward hand, but a keepable one. We did end up at Mythic 455, so I think that might be the highest we've ended up at. Well, it's definitely the highest we've entered Mythic at. We've ended higher, I believe. At the end of a season, we got somewhere in the 420s range, maybe? I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember. Maybe in the 600s? Not exactly sure. But 455 is definitely among the higher Mythic ranks we've been here on the channel. So Let's see if we can climb even higher now at the end of this draft. This will be the last draft of the season, so wherever we end up is where we're going to stay. Go ahead, play to deuce. I think I need to just get a creature disguised here, so I'll play. Let's see if it gets countered. Looks like it does. So next turn I can play Public Thoroughfare, tapping our clue, and then also disguise the Technician here. Or play Projector Inspector, that also seems fine. Let's just start here. Sorry, Orangutan, I think you're the worst thing in our hand, so we'll get rid of you. Five mana next turn. An awkward amount of mana based on what we got going on, but we can do one of these, like disguise this and crack a clue, or play Phoenix. Probably going to play Phoenix, crack a clue. Nervous Gardener. Okay, let's see if they get a third color, if they are just true blue-green here. Did get a third color. Got all three, and disguise? Yeah, okay. I guess I trade at this point. Or at least offer the trade, play Phoenix, crack the clue here. Sure. Got a Bubble Smuggler. Okay, that resolves. Still have a green up. Don't know what that could be. Could be the +X per X is the number of creatures you control, and then like untaps it and gives it reach or something. I've played around that card a lot. Awkward mana situation going on here. 6 mana, but not a lot to do with it necessarily. I mean, we have a lot. We just can't, like, double spell or anything. I guess I could play out cold and then also crack the clue. That is the most mana efficient thing to do. Doesn't advance our board any. I think it's still okay, though. Another Cold Case Cracker. Don't really like that. Thoroughfare tapping the land. Sure. I think I wait till my turn to do this so I can cast this for 2. And then if I draw land in 2 draws, I get to also disguise a Gadget Technician. We did draw the land. And then we'll get on in. We can use exit on their cracker next turn after it untaps here. We can do 4. If we draw another untapped land, we can do all of this here, which would be pretty good. We can flip up Technician, cast Surveillance Monitor, and cast exit. Okay, did draw the land. So let's start by attacking. Do they also have out cold? That would slow us down a good bit. Wouldn't be shocked if they did. No? Okay. Go to damage. Crack a clue. And they don't have an instant, so that's good news. We will collect evidence 4 and hold up unauthorized exit here, likely on their cold case cracker. But there's many things they could play that would be quite bad for us here. Alright, they do still get to recast it here now. Repulsive Mutation, that should be lethal, I would think. Because we can cast it off of Thoroughfare? Yeah, they only have 4 blockers, and we can give +7 plus 7, so that's lethal. No, +6 plus 6, right? So I guess it's not technically lethal, but if they don't block the right creatures here, it would be lethal. Although actually they can't block 3 flyers, so yeah, this should work. Why do they have interaction here? Alright. Repulsive Mutation. That's why I'm splashing it. Because it's a very good card. Alright, starting on the play here. Got the Deuce on 2. Sprite on 3, probably. Might draw into something. I could get the flying beats down here started soon. Or I could just play my tap land. Either one of them. Difficult sequencing here. I think I'm actually just gonna get a flyer down and start attacking them. That's been what's been pretty good for us so far. Because we have 2 more creatures coming next turn as well. And then quasi-removal the following turn. If they attack with their disguise creature, I think I'll block with my 2/2. I don't think I'll block Automaton, though. Gadget Technician. Okay, okay. Let's play Thoroughfare, tap the clue, play Technician here. Get a Thopter attack here. Killer Among Us, yep. That's a bunch of creatures. No reach currently. An unauthorized exit could very easily blow out whatever sort of a Killer Among Us shenanigans they're going to try here. Alright, clearly that is their disguise, or that is their creature. So let's pass to blockers and then just unauthorized exit it, I think. Hoping they don't have Repulsive Mutation in hand. That wouldn't be great. No, don't need another land here. See what else they play. Disguise and nothing. Alright. Let's do... They didn't attack earlier with this, which makes me think that's the more valuable one. So let's do these 2 here. It's also pretty good. Let's see what's on top before we decide to crack clues or anything. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Let's start here. And then we can flip this up if they go for any sort of funny business. They did have the Repulsive Mutation and chose not to use it on exit. Okay. Well, that happens. Alright, go to combat, and I guess get in with everything here. end the turn. They've got a disguised creature. We still have one more turn here. Looks like we did hit the wrong one, potentially. Okay, what do you got for a plains now? There's lots of busted white cards you could have, including Aurelia's whatever. Crocodile, maybe this is? Nothing. Okay. They gotta have interaction here then, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what we draw to start, I guess. Can't just go to 3. Yeah, Aurelia's whatever is what I said it probably would have been. So, there's Aurelia's whatever. Found their planes. Alright, don't think we can beat that, unfortunately. We have to take at least 9, potentially 11. They go to 11, so we go to 5 and they go to 11 here. And I'm sure they have more. Alright, Satchel, let's see if you can get us back into this here. I'm not sure it'll be able to. That's another flyer. And pass again. We have another Satchel in the deck. It would have been good with all the clues we had. Which one do I want to kill? Guess I can kill this one here. Or at least attempt to. Go to 4. Collect evidence 4. Go to my turn. Shock, not horrible here. Get back Sprite, and then I guess we collect the evidence on it. Good, 6. So this would work. Keep this thing tapped down, and then we can start bashing in the air, I guess. And now next turn we have lethal. Don't know how that happened exactly. Wow. Detective Satchel. What a card. Okay, we kept Commercial District last time. If we can find a blue in 3 draws, this hand is incredible. Alright, I'm willing to risk it. Commercial District is going to bottom anything that's not an island here. I genuinely do think mulliganing is much worse than risking hands like this. Every time I mulligan, I lose. Like, it's almost just clockwork at this point. So... they also mulligan to 5 here, so that helps our chances if we do stumble a bit. And look, never didn't have it. Inspector can help craft our draws as well. And with Satchel in hand, probably just going to want to hit land drops here. That is a land. I think I'll just get rid of the expensive card here. Or not the expensive card, the card that is kind of slowest. They have 4 lands. There's a disguised creature. Got a couple 2/2s now. That is a detective. Sure, it's not the most mana efficient thing. Okay, so they have Nervous Gardener here is what it looks like. I think lands are most important. This also gives us surveil fodder, or collect evidence fodder for the monitor here. I'll get rid of one of them though. And at this point I think I'll offer the trades. Looks like they will use Nervous Gardener. Go get whatever their second color is, and then... there's the red. Now we've got the Scholar here. 5 lands next turn. See if Scholar survives. It does not. At least they didn't get the value off to Torch the Witness there, but they are having a pretty good mulligan to 5 here. Can't really block that now that they have 5 or 6 mana here. Let's see what it is. Bullrat Clan Basher. Okay, that's something I can unauthorized exit here. And probably will. Alright, no blocks. See if they try to push more damage here. Ooh, looks like they do. Yeah, that resolves. You got anything else you want to pump into it? No. Yeah, that sets them back quite hard there. Looks like they'll just replay it. Can't flip it. They do have a 4/4 though. I can do this for x equals 4 right now. That's not quite lethal or anything. So let's see what we draw here first. Deduce. Okay, so we have to take probably at least 6 next turn, but we are at 14, so that should be okay. Eavesdropper. That means they can't flip up the Clan Basher now. And is mutation lethal at this point? So they take 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they block this and this and take 4, and I pump an additional 4 into it, so no, it's not quite lethal yet. So let's just set up lethal next turn here. Crack a clue, leaving up green in case they find a potential combat trick, maybe? I think I'll just tap this and leave up mutation in case I absolutely have to counter something. If that makes a difference here. We know this is a Clan Basher, so that represents at least 6 damage. That's fine. That's also fine. They have 3 mana right now. Looks like they're counting it up. If they have a way to not die on the backswing. They bite down on crime. Alright, I think I'll do it here. So let's target this creature, target that spell. And that should do it, I would think. Take 4. Have 5 in the air, plus some more stuff here. Can also attack now with Analyst. And that should do it for this one. Perfect for Exaxes. All right. What are we, 4-0 now? Let's keep on going. What are we up to? 317. Okay, starting on the play here with a very slow hand. Gonna have to hope we aren't going up against red-white aggro, which we haven't so far, so that's been nice. Playing a very evenly matched game between 317 and 343 here. Trying to move our way up. Just thinking back to last game, man, they mulliganed to 5 in that game, and they still put together a nice fight. All right, I think I'll do Deduce, because what I could do next turn is I could play Forest and the following turn Thoroughfare away, Or Thoroughfare tapping our clue. I could also now Thoroughfare tapping the clue. Ooh. No, now I have to do that. So let's do this. Let's shock. And then Jaded Analyst here. And then next turn we can disguise Specialist. Yeah, I think this is best as far as mana goes here. So we'll do that. They found their blue. Good for them. Happy to block with Analyst here. Alright, don't have anything else to do really except just play Satchel. And now next turn I can play another Satchel, crack it, make 2 Thopters, and off we go. And from there, I mean, we should be able to win from there. Unless they can kill one of the Satchels. Alright, getting white. You hate to see that with things like Aurelia's Vindicator in the format. Holding up double green. Interesting. That's a second Sharp-Eyed rookie, isn't it? Yeah, alright. At least I can reset it with Exit Specialist here at some point. So I'm going to hold up Exit Specialist in the event that I need to use it, as opposed to cracking the clue here. Like if they go for Bite Down on Crime or something. Yeah, hard-hitting question. That I can't pay the ward is the issue, though. So that is going to work, but I guess I still flip it and bounce the rookie, I suppose. They could just recast it, but I mean, it does set them back a little bit here. Let's get this going. Probably cast Out Cold on their turn. And we're going to have an army of flyers here. The most Manny Vision thing to do is play Inspector and crack a clue, but I want my clues to be triggering all these satchels over and over again, so that is going to be the plan here. Another Nervous Gardener? Okay. Getting another blue? Yeah, that's what I thought. Private Eye. Let's do it on these two. Really hoping they don't have Repulsive Mutation. Out cold, okay, okay. let's play Inspector and take action, get rid of the island. And I guess at this point we have so much mana that I guess I can just cast Deduce and hold the island. Although I'm not going to be triggering Inspector that much more. I could, but let's just play the land here and then pass the turn. We're going to have to keep our army of Thopters going. At some point the army of Thopters could just like overwhelm their life total, but we have to make sure we don't die as well. We are at 10. Because the Private Eye can start making the Rookie unblockable, and itself. Yikes, that's not good. That's pretty bad. Alright, well, they're finding ways to fight through this, that is for sure. We're very, very slow here, but we're doing our best. I still think we have a little bit of inevitability here. We've got, what, 8 more Thopters coming with what's already on the board. I'm probably going to bounce the Rookie here to both reset it and not have to take 3. Because they do have Escape Tunnel to push damage as well. Ah. Forgot that was going to enter as a 4/4. I gave them an extra clue there. That was a bit of a mistake. I thought it would just enter as a 3/3, so... That's also a detective. They can... Yeah, they have so much unblockability here. This is going to be really tough. Alright, past the blockers. Got a little lucky there. They went for lethal. And we decided to push back on that. Now they can't even recast the detective this turn. Or the Rookie, I guess. how much do I care about trying to draw cards now? Because they can draw a card, make this unblockable next turn. I can trade a person of interest for a 1/1 flyer. I do have to start pushing damage a little bit here. I think they are the ones with the inevitability at this point now. So let's offer the person of interest for the 1/1 flyer here. I don't even know if they'll take it. Okay, I guess they're going to risk a combat trick. But that's fine. Playing the land because we still just have so much to do with our mana going forward. Double white. That's scary. What have we seen from them that's white so far? Nothing. So they can hit us for 3 here. I think I'm going to get rid of this thing, actually. It still gets value on the battlefield for them. I'm going to put it... For some reason, I thought it went onto the bottom of their library. I haven't activated that very often. Really, that would be a shame if they redrew it. Okay, attack for 3 unblockable. No! Do they have removal for the satchel here? I don't know what we could draw at this point that's really going to change this calculus. We've drawn a lot of our interaction. Oh, they have the enchantment. They're going to enchant the plains, get rid of a creature. Oh, it's a non-land permanent. So they're definitely going to get rid of a satchel here, I would think. Yeah. That changes the clock. They do still have priority. I don't know what it is. A 6/6 that also makes this unblockable here. If it's Fanatical Strength, we are officially dead, and it very well could be, based on what they had last turn. Yeah, I think they've got Fanatical Strength here. Yep, here it comes on in, and there's the Fanatical Strength. Get a leg up, number 2. And they drew exactly a creature that made that all happen for them. One that was bigger than that gave it to them. So that's unfortunate. Maybe there was a way I could have played that differently. We were so slow that game, and they had unblockability. That was really tough. All right, let's see if we can recover from that one there. A close one. Not sure if we could have done anything differently. It was a really tight match. Like I said at the end there, we were just so slow for so long. But we've got a turn. Oh, this is so awkward. I think it's got to be Thoroughfare here. The Phoenix is not really something you want to get on the battlefield super early if you don't have Collect Evidence backup on it. So I think I'm just going to play Jaded Analyst here. Exit Specialist. I don't think I can pass that up. I wanted to put it in the yard. If it was a 4-drop, I'd be very tempted to put it in the yard with Phoenix being able to collect evidence, but I don't think I can put that into the yard here. Next turn, I guess I can just Satchel, and then the following turn start closely guaranteeing land drops. They've got the Sultai. Do they find a 4th color? Or are they just Sultai? Nope. Just Sultai. Alright, well. Let's get the Satchel on the battlefield here. And then next turn... Benthic Criminologist. It's a nice little exit specialist target here. Could also just unauthorized exit, so why don't we do this as well as this here. No, lands I think are probably just better. Now we also do have Collect Evidence fodder for the Phoenix here. Would be thrilled if they just played Criminologist again. That would be pretty good for us. That's also not too bad. So now we just do this here. Bounce that, play Phoenix. Now the only bad thing is that both of those creatures are 5 toughness, of which Suspicious Detonation does not work against. So if they just play it again, that is something I can kill. Can't be blocked power 3 or greater. So as long as they have this Thopter, that's going to be pretty annoying. Cryptic Coat. That's also very annoying. Let's start here. I guess I can out cold. Because I could play Gadget Technician this turn. There's a few things I can do. Yeah, let's get the creatures on the battlefield. Got a lot of mana over there, a lot of things they can do. Are they cycling the Panther? Okay, cycling the Panther, interesting. Sprite likely keeping Phoenix tapped down, makes sense. And a disguise creature. Oof, as bad as Surveillance Monitor is for us, I think 10th District Hero is worse. So I probably have to kill that. Oh. I can't let them untap with it, can I? Well... They can't even collect evidence with it right now. Let's get in here. See what they choose to do. I can get the satchels going again, and then next turn I have 2 shots at a land to be able to play satchel, crack a clue, and then also play detonation on the hero. Yeah, I'm gonna get this going here again. Can even make another 1/1 here. Forgot that doesn't need to be on the battlefield to see. As long as you've sacrificed an artifact this turn, it can still trigger. Another Panther? Don't really want the hero to get too big. Okay, take 5. Take 2. Another disguise. Sure. Okay. Let's start here. I don't like missing the land drop, unfortunately. I probably have to out cold now. I could detonation and disguise the technician. That's not horrible. think it's worth pushing the damage, even if they want to eat a 1/1 here. I assume they're just going to return Cryptic Coat to their hand. That's probably their play. Okay, I guess they'll do that. Eat the 1/1, trade specialists, sure. Not particularly scared of criminologists here. Am scared of what this could be as well as their final card in hand. But again, all these flyers have been pretty darn good from these satchels. Okay, no blocks for the turn. Let's see what the disguised creature is. Vengeful Creeper destroying a satchel. Okay. Why has everyone got to destroy my satchels? Oh, destroy the clue. It's an interesting choice. Take 8 here. One, two, three, four. So we can undisguise this, out cold, and crack the clue, make 2 more 1/1s here. That's pretty good. Don't think that's lethal. I think they go to 1 now. Okay. And then just going to out cold and crack the clue. And then make 2 more 1/1s. There we go. All right, rebounded with more Detective Satchel work. All right, we're up first this time. And hand is fine, got our colors. A little slow, but so has everything else. Everything else been slow too. So I'm probably playing Thoroughfare on 2, tapping down a land, but I guess there's an argument to doing it on 3. Not really, because we don't have blue yet, so we need blue. And then on 3 we can do Deduce and Shock. Satchel's always good. Blue-red bystander. That's a decent little shock target there. In fact, I think I'll just go ahead and do it now so they don't have any sort of counter or combat trick or anything else. Nothing? Okay. Cast a Deuce. They might have counter spells, so what do I want to get countered next turn? I'd prefer it be Person. The Satchel has done too good work for us. So I think I just gotta play Person of Interest here and run that into the counter spell, and then Detective Satchel can resolve. Turns out it wasn't actually counterspell. Ooh, the mirror. Sure. Guess I shouldn't have, sometimes I get a little bit ahead of myself and play things pre-combat when I should have just played them post-combat. I know I should be doing that, but I don't think it would have changed anything in that turn. Maybe they wouldn't have blocked if they didn't know what I had, but them blocking is also totally fine by me. Alright, well, let's get this going. Alright, now we've got double satchel. Once again, that has been the recipe for success in this draft. But they've got 6 mana and 4 cards, which I do not like. Magmaw. Sack a non-land permanent, deals 1 damage to any target. Alright, I guess they saw the writing on the wall with the satchels there. I was going to go ahead and sack 1, make 2 Thopters, and then detonation the Magmaw, but works for me too. Alright, we're up first again, and hand looks fine. Got a bunch of 2s. We can do stuff with that. I think I'll just lead on Analyst here, get a creature on the board. And then probably play another one next turn. Following turn, I can play Deduce, crack the Clue, attack for 6 if I need to. They'll probably play a Disguise creature. Ally Assailant, that's fine. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Oh, we don't even need to, forgot. Don't need to crack the Clue. Because we just drew our second card, so that's fine. I could probably just bounce the Assailant with Exit here. Yeah, that's another pretty big blowout, unfortunately for them. I'll just murder an Analyst? Yeah, that's fine too. Land drops are good, but I want to find some of my action here. Okay, well, now I wish I would have kept the land, obviously. Unscrupulous Agent resolves. I guess I'll get rid of this. And Disguise, yeah. Instant sorcery creature with flying. Well, it's going to be one of these because I don't want to have to discard 2. So how important is detonation here versus another flyer and a removal spell? I guess I'll get rid of detonation. Totally fine trading this off. Nervous Gardener. Sure. Croson Tusker? What on earth do you even do? You search your library for a basic, put it in your hand, then shuffle? That's fine. Oh, and it cycles. Oh, that's kind of cool. So 3 mana, get a land and a random card? Lands are good. What's best here? Person of interest? I guess I'll get a Thopter. Again, doing this pre-combat because this time it truly doesn't matter because they're not going to block this either way. In the turn, got a lot of mana over there. Could be something scary. No plays at all. Okay. Alright, let's attack, I guess. Sure. I'm sure they'll flip it up and I'll bounce it, whatever it is. Yeah, I'll just bounce it back. Yikes. That is what I was worried about here. What if I shock them and then sprite down Rakdos here? They block here, they take, or they block here, they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we gotta try to get this game over with ASAP. Decline, draw 2, use sprite, collect evidence, 6, get another Thopter, lock down Rakdos, attack with everything, play Person of Interest, and hope it's good enough next turn. They go to 2. Not playing around a board wipe here. That could be the wrong decision, but, I mean, this, I guess, Deadly Cover-Up is the only thing that makes this go sideways? If they had it, they would have just cast it, so I doubt they have it. Or they're taking a bite of their sandwich and then they'll cast it. Okay, they didn't have it. We finished the format with a 7-1 trophy, finishing at Mythic 256. What a format. I trophied 11 times this format in 34 drafts, which is kind of crazy. That's like 1 every 3 drafts I got a trophy. This is one of my best formats I've ever had here on the channel. So you're going to want to stick around for the next 2 weeks of the best deck tournament to see which of these decks is going to come out on top from each other, because they were all quite the bangers. Thanks for tuning into Life of this format. See you for the best deck tournament, and I'll see you next time for your daily draft.